The Neon Imaging Spectrometer, or NIS, is a passive remote sensing instrument that measures reflected solar energy from the landscape. This sensor is part of the Neon Airborne Observation Platform in the instrument payloads aboard Twin Otter planes, designed to capture ecological data from the air. The NIS is similar to a traditional camera in that it captures reflected light energy. The difference is that the NIS captures that light energy in a much wider range of the electromagnetic spectrum, with wavelengths between 380 to 2500 nanometers in 5 nanometer bands. This measured reflectance can reveal details about plant productivity and health, such as how much it can photosynthesize, how much water it holds, and how it gets its nutrients. For example, photosynthetically active vegetation will reflect solar energy in the near-infrared wavelength region while absorbing energy in the red wavelength region.
So how does the Neon Imaging Spectrometer calibration work?
To provide highly accurate and scalable remote sensing data from the NIS, radiometric calibrations are performed in the lab in conjunction with test flights that are conducted before and after each flight season. These test flights, called vicarious calibration flights, are conducted for each of the 3 active Neon payloads aboard the planes. These flights are designed to assess the absolute accuracy of the sensors and to ensure data are comparable among all 3 payloads. It's also important that the collected data are compatible with imaging spectrometers from other external programs that operate over the same wavelength region, such as multispectral satellite data. During these test flights, while the aircraft fly overhead collecting the airborne spectrometer data, 2 Neon scientists simultaneously collect spectral data on the ground with a handheld spectral sensor. Designated targets are deployed on the ground that usually include 2 to 3 spectral calibration tarps. These spectral tarps have well-characterized reflectance values across all wavelengths. In addition, scientists collect measurements over nearby targets such as vegetation and the road. The NIS data from the plane are processed through Neon's standard spectrometer processing pipeline.
The raw, or level 0 spectrometer data collected from the plane are converted to at-sensor radiance data, or level 1, and stored in the cloud. From there, users can easily access these data through the Neon data portal.
Similarly, data from the handheld device on the ground are converted to at-sensor radiance using a radiative transfer model, which simulates atmospheric effects. It incorporates atmospheric data from local or nearby stations from various sources,
such as NASA's AeroNet.
The spectra of these 2 independently collected radiance datasets over the various targets are then compared to each other. The target for accuracy is less than a 5% difference between the ground and airborne radiance datasets in at least one of the targets in order to designate the NIS sensor as ready for the flight season.
Another phase of the calibration takes place in the Neon Calibration Lab in Boulder. This radiometric calibration serves to quantify any offsets, drift, and return levels seen by the hyperspectral imaging sensor. It's conducted in a dark room where reflectance is minimized via reflective dampening materials.
The calibration begins with the use of a NIST standardized bulb to provide illumination to a panel, which is measured by the same handheld spectral sensor as was used in the field. The spectrum of this sensor is adjusted to match the known spectral output of the bulb. With the transfer spectrometer error now quantified, the spectral sensor is then used to measure the light output of an illuminated sphere containing 3 halogen bulbs and 1 xenon bulb, controlled and varied for each pass through the spectral sensor's field of view. Now that a calibrated measurement of the output from the sphere is established, it is then mounted under the hyperspectral imager on a motion control platform where it's scanned through the entire field of view at a fixed distance. This process is repeated at various intensities and bulb output configurations and measured each time with the spectral sensor. The output from both the handheld sensor and the NIS from the payload are compared and corrections are made. These data can be loaded into the onboard software for real-time corrections and are also applied in the data post-processing. With the Neon Imaging Spectrometer now calibrated to achieve the highest accuracy and standardization, the AOP is ready to take to the sky across the country to collect remote sensing ecological data.